Hey friends, welcome back to Cooking with Ndidi. It's back to school season, and this is a perfect time to bond with your children and do some cooking together. There's a lot of learning, reading, math skills involved with cooking with your child. And there is a recipe in the back of this book. She started with creaming the butter and sugar together, and then adding some baking powder and a pinch of salt to the all-purpose flour. And as a heads up, I'm going to tweak her recipe just a little bit because it's slightly different from my mother-in-law's recipe. But right now we're at the stage of combining the flour. And she used cinnamon. My mother-in-law used nutmeg. So I'm going to use nutmeg because that's what I prefer in my tea cakes. And that's going to be the only change that I make to the recipe. Now, I also used a teaspoon of nutmeg. That's the difference. If you buy this book, the recipe is located in the very back of the book. And I encourage you to do this if you have young children or you have grandchildren, nieces or nephews. It's a great family experience. And like I said, there's a lot of learning going on. Normally, you sift your dry ingredients. I just used a fork to work through it. You see this butter? That's how your butter and sugar should look. So if you cream it for about 5 minutes, it looks like this. I'm adding the vanilla flavoring. And I'm using my stand still mixer to give it a little whisk, blend it in. All right. Now, I chose not to read the book to you because I did not want to get a copyright ding against my account. So that's why I did not read it to you. But it's a great story. Beat your eggs into your butter and sugar mixture gently. Don't overbeat it. And alternate your dry ingredients into it. Give it a little stir. You notice I'm not using my mixer anymore. I'm just using a spatula. All right, the dough is very sticky, but you want to make sure that everything is well incorporated. So because it's so sticky, I'm going to use my stand still mixer just for about 30 seconds. Now I have poured this batter onto a silicone flour mat. And my hands are clean. I washed my hands all throughout the cooking process. You want to flour your hands. Work the dough, giving it a toss and a fold, a press here and there for about 3 minutes. I'm shaping it, making sure it's been kneaded and pressed down, folded over. Now, I will not use all of this cookie dough in one setting because it will probably yield about 2.5 to 3 dozen tea cakes, depending on the size that I cut them. All right, I'm going to cut it in half because I only want half of the dough for today. And refrigerated cookie dough can keep in your refrigerator wrapped in saran for about 3 to 5 days. Now I'm going to flour the silicone mat again because it's a little sticky once I cut it. Give it a little work again. Giving it a press down. Now I'm pressing it down with my hand. You can use a rolling pin. I don't have one. Well, no, I have one, but it's really, really old, and I don't feel like pulling it out. I'm going to use this little, condiment cup to try and get some rounded cookie shapes. I don't want them too large, but this isn't working out for me, so I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Do a pinch and a press, roll it around and press it down, giving it a rounded shape. If you cut really large cookie shapes, it's going to swell up, and you'll have a real large cookie. So that's your choice. I like a medium size. I am placing them on a lightly greased cookie sheet. And that one's too thin, so I'm going to roll it and give it a smash down again. And this is the perfect size that I want today. All right, while the cookies are in the oven baking for about 13-14 minutes, I'm going to go on and wrap up this remaining cookie dough in some saran wrap, and it will stay usable in your refrigerator for about 3 to 5 days. After 5 days, I would go on and toss it out. There's a lot of history pertaining to tea cakes in the South, and especially African American families. It goes way back to pre-Civil War time. All right, the cookies are ready, and I'm going to be 100% real. If you use the recipe in this book, tweak the amount of baking powder. When I saw the amount, she uses 1 tablespoon. In my heart, I knew that had to be a typo. You can taste that. That is entirely too much baking powder in a cookie recipe, in my opinion. So if you make this recipe, do not use that amount. I would suggest no more than 2 teaspoons of baking powder. But other than that, this is a pretty decent recipe. Like I said, the story is wonderful, and there's a lot of learning going on. Hit me up in the comments to let me know if you've ever had tea cakes, if you make them, what flavors do you make. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.